Okay, here we're going to discuss season extensions, ways to get a little bit longer growing season. There's many different styles, many different purposes. You could see just because you have a structure doesn't mean you can't have a structure within a structure. Tall crops, long crops, all different styles. So I'm going to touch on just the main points here just to give you an idea of what's available. So first off, for season extensions, there's small styles. They can be just rows. They are used to help protect very small plantings. You can see you're not very tall, low, in a tight area, areas you might be switching or changing. Excellent for that purpose. Still getting the benefits of added heat and reduced frost potential for damage, but not having to set up a very large or elaborate structure. And then there's your mid-size. Caterpillar tunnels are gaining massive popularity. Great if you're considering a high tunnel, but are unsure if you want to commit to one. Easy to set up. I've set them up. They really don't take all that much time. Little prep work, little, yes, there's some bolting and some measuring to do, but overall easily done in a weekend. And as I said, they're great if you're considering a high tunnel but are not 100% sure or committed to that. And you can set multiple up, and they give you an idea of what it is like growing in a protective structure and some of the benefits, and also some of the challenges from growing them. Caterpillar tunnel is relatively inexpensive, not very wide but long, great for long areas of fields. And as I said, instead of just committing yourself to one, you could easily do two, and it offers a lot of flexibility. They are also pretty easy to move if you wanted to do crop rotations, which is advised. Larger styles, these are your true high tunnels. Due to grants, they become very popular, springing up all over the place. If you get more than one though, try to get two the same size. It makes it a lot easier for management purposes. They have advantages but need to be taken care of. The plastic should be removed during the winter, and or the structure should be able to be moved, and it should be moved. It shouldn't be a permanent structure in one solid location. It should have the option of being moved. The reason being is you leave it in that one area, it can lead up to the buildup of nutrients. You don't get a lot of leaching. Can also have pest issues and problems. So this is why these aren't greenhouses. They're called high tunnels because they're able to be moved. So high tunnels versus a greenhouse. Well, high tunnels are temporary. They don't have an extra heat source. So you can see here, they're just literally tunnels that are tall. Greenhouses are more permanent structures. They can have paved and solid floors, high degree of climate control, heaters, coolers, exhaust fans, a lot of electricity, could have hanging lights, a lot more of a permanent structure. True high tunnels are just that. They're usually placed in fields, and they're tunnels that are high, and they're just aiding in extending that growing season. A very important part, whether you have a small one, a mid-size, or a large one, or even a greenhouse, is keeping the structure clean inside and out is extremely important. This can often be overlooked, especially when they're brand new. They look very nice, and they are, but you got to maintain that. Reduce the potential for disease carryover is the #1 reason. You want to limit your local pest pressure. Clean it, sweeping up the floors, making sure there's not a lot of residue, and don't using them as storage for certain things. Not letting crops die in there and then just leaving them. Going through washing the plastic even as you take it down, the inside, the outside. It's very important to keep them clean in and out. This is an example of a relatively good sized high tunnel here, showing you what it can look like in season. Nice and clean here. I went to visit this farm. You can see only here a couple clippings here. They're doing some pruning, but how clean it is. Top, bottom, and plants. They don't want to have a microenvironment here that can increase your own pressure of pests. Lastly, extending your season. You can extend it early, as in the March, April, May timeframe, or late, September, October, November. The advantage early is that you can get a jump on the season. Often get ahead of pest pressure, which is great. Late in the season, you can continue to a Thanksgiving meal if you're delivering that for someone. Or the pest pressure can be higher, though, later in the season. So just a word of caution, starting them a little bit later and maintaining them, keeping them clean for especially your late season crops is important. Early in the season, tend not to have as many problems, but still worthwhile. Keep it clean so you don't have any issues. Again, pushing that season early and late can be great, but it reduces your off season, so keep that in mind.